Hi, welcome back to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Travel medical insurance can be primary or secondary coverage, depending on the plan. If it is primary, it will pay out before any other health insurance you have. If you have health insurance and buy travel medical insurance as secondary coverage, your own health plan must pay first. If you are traveling overseas and your U.S. health plan doesn't provide coverage, a travel medical plan that is secondary will essentially become primary coverage due to the lack of other insurance. You also want to consider emergency medical evacuation insurance. This pays for you to get to nearest adequate medical facility or even back home, depending on your condition. For example, if you are vacationing in a remote part of the world, this would be essential coverage to have. Medical evacuation back to the U.S. can cost more than $50,000 according to the U.S. Department of State. Be aware of your travel insurance policy rules for evacuation. For example, some policies might pay to transport you back to the U.S. only after you have been hospitalized for 7 days following a medical emergency. And what is not covered by travel medical insurance? What is covered and excluded by a travel medical insurance plan will depend on the travel insurance company. But here are some common exclusions. Pre-existing conditions. How pre-existing conditions are covered will vary by travel insurance company, and one insurer might define a pre-existing condition differently than the next. Some insurance companies will take a look at your past medical history to determine if a condition was present during a period that could range from 90 days to 1 year ago. It is depending on the policy. Travel insurance plans will generally cover pre-existing conditions as long as you buy your plan within a couple of weeks after you make your first trip deposit. Buying your plan right away lets you to lock in a pre-existing condition exclusion waiver. For example, Allianz Travel requires you to meet the following requirements before it will cover expenses due to a pre-existing medical condition. Your policy was purchased within the time frame specified by your plan. For example, within 14 days of the initial trip payment. You were a U.S. resident when you purchased the policy. You were medically able to travel when you purchased the policy. On the policy purchase date, you insured the full non-refundable cost of your trip with Allianz Global Assistance. Any subsequent non-refundable cost must be insured within 14 days of their purchase. If you fail to do so, those expenses will be excluded under the pre-existing medical condition exclusion. Intoxication and drug use. Travel medical insurance typically won't cover emergency medical costs due to intoxication or drug use. For example, if you become intoxicated and fall off a balcony, your travel medical insurance won't cover the cost of your injuries. Dangerous activities. Some travel medical insurance policies won't cover expenses that resulted from activities such as mountain climbing, skydiving, or parasailing. If you plan to engage in activities like this, work with a travel insurance agent to compare adventure travel insurance plans to make sure your particular activities will be covered. Other exclusions. Other typical exclusions to travel medical insurance include routine medical examinations such as vaccinations or immunizations, obesity or weight modification such as intestinal bypass surgery, organ or tissue transplants, corrective devices, and medical appliances such as eyeglasses or contact lenses. Who needs travel medical insurance? Even travelers in good health should have some form of travel medical insurance. If they are going outside the US, according to Allianz Travel, the most common overseas medical emergencies their policyholder experience include fractures from false trauma involving motor vehicles, respiratory problems such as a collapsed lung, cardiovascular problems such as a heart attack, and if you do not have the right coverage in place and you get injured or sick on your trip, you will be stuck paying medical bills out of pocket. Senior travelers, especially, should make sure to have good medical benefits when traveling abroad, since Medicare won't provide benefits outside the US. If you are traveling outside the United States, you absolutely need some form of travel medical insurance. You also need to look at where you are traveling outside the country because medical care varies greatly around the world, says Miller at Berkshire Hathaway Travel Protection. How do I purchase travel medical insurance? Before you buy a travel insurance policy, it is a good idea to compare quotes from multiple insurance. Most travel insurance companies offer free quotes on their website. You can save time by visiting an insurance comparison website that compares quotes from multiple companies. But price should not be the only deciding factor. It is a good idea to find a plan that also covers COVID-related problems. The best travel insurance companies offer a solid range of coverage options at a fair price. How much does travel medical insurance cost? The average price for a stand-alone travel medical insurance policy is $92.75 per trip, according to SquareMods, a travel insurance comparison provider. However, some travelers may be able to secure a basic travel medical insurance plan for as little as $2 or less per person per day or coverage. Keep in mind that travel medical insurance can also be part of or added to a comprehensive travel plan that includes other types of coverage, like trip cancellation insurance and trip interruption insurance. The average cost of a comprehensive travel insurance plan will vary based on the cost of your trip, duration of trip, plan benefits selected, and your age. Factor in the cost of travel medical insurance. How much you pay for travel medical insurance depends on four primary factors: age, trip duration, destination, coverage limit, and deductible. How much travel medical insurance should you have? It is a good idea to select a plan with enough coverage based upon the type of trip you are taking. For example, emergency medical evacuation from a cruise ship can cost between $50,000 and $100,000 according to the Centers for the Disease Control. The most generous travel insurance plans provide $500,000 per person for emergency medical expenses and $1 million for emergency medical evacuation. Other good plans have ample medical coverage of $250,000 or $100,000 per person, and some have less, which you might find sufficient. See for best advisor's rating of the best travel insurance. Here are examples of travel insurance plans with at least $100,000 coverage for medical expenses and at least $250,000 for emergency evacuation. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.